What's up, Dragon Brood? This is an ungodly hour of the morning, but I still wanted to bring y'all something, and I kind of wanted this to be a YouTube short, but I decided this needs to be a little bit more of a, I don't know, upfront personal conversation. It's going to be a little bit longer, not a lot, maybe 5 or 6 minutes, but this is kind of following up on the proxy thing from yesterday. So if you didn't see that video, if I can remember to link it here, I will. But sorry for the audio, by the way. I'm recording from just a cheap webcam on my laptop, obviously on location. A side note, I learned about a game called NFL 5 that if you're a sports fan and like card games, you'll probably enjoy this. So I'll probably be showing that on the channel at some point. Um, yeah, and I'll have some gameplay content coming probably tomorrow. So I didn't forget about y'all. This is just a big charity event that I'm working in Dallas this weekend, and it's the first time I've actually gone out and ran an event with people at a normal size and stuff in a while. So anyway, back on track. So talking about Rule Zero, and I feel like there's two things kind of bugging me about it right now. There's some people that seem to say like anytime something is different, they're like, oh, well, just Rule Zero it. You and a group can just Rule Zero it. Like Rule Zero isn't the answer to everything. It's not going to magically make your games better. And don't get me wrong, I want to encourage the conversations and the Rule Zero conversation. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Rule Zero basically says that the rules are there, but if you want to bend them, make sure it's okay with your group if you want to try something. For example, if you want to play with proxies and whatnot, then cool. You just let your group know, and if everybody's cool, you play with your proxies, right? Nothing real complicated. But people seem to be trying to use it as the answer to every problem, everything they want to fix. And, we're trying to give all these points and rankings and power levels and blah, blah, to all this stuff. And I think the conversation is really a lot simpler even than that. I think when it comes down to it, we really just need to, and this is going to sound harsh. I'm going to admit to this. This is going to sound a little bit harsh. But at some point, we kind of need to just be adults about things. And some of us aren't adults, obviously. But for an example, like the pregame Rule Zero conversation should be more about what type of game do you wish to play? What are your expectations at the table? Like if somebody were to ask me, I could say succinctly that I'm casting big creatures and I kind of like games to go 8+ turns. And hopefully everybody during the course of the game gets to be the arch enemy at some point. Basically meaning they have the advantage, we have to work against them, somebody else gets the advantage, they can work against them, and that's fun for me, right? I like seeing different people succeed and their decks do whatever they're supposed to do, and we all cast our big spells, and then somebody wins. That's not the type of Magic some people want to play, and that's okay, right? They can say, well, I have a deck, I'd like to start getting all my stuff set up on turn 4, try to end the game as soon as I can after that, and I'm maybe tutoring up some stuff or whatever, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, we're not going to be compatible, right? That's totally okay. Matter of fact, I would even say if you're not compatible, politely just say, well, I'll probably try to find another game. And yeah, and I get it. Well, I've mentioned that to some people, and they said, well, if I'm playing at my local store and there's no other games, then what do? I said, well, then you work with that person and say, okay, how about we meet in the middle? Like, do you have any crazy spells that are just overpowering? They're going to try to end the game early, maybe. All right, cool. Would you mind swapping 2 of those out? Not an unreal thing. Or say, okay, let me try playing with you guys and just see how difficult it is. Okay, maybe we have fun, maybe we don't. But especially if you're in an event or whatever else, it's okay to just walk away or wait till the other group picks up and starts or whatever. I think that's totally fine. And there's no offense, there's nothing wrong with it. I've walked away from games before and told the group politely, it's like, okay, y'all are more situated to deal with each other. I'm probably going to sit this one out. And I've had those same players say like, oh, no, you should play this one. It's like, no, it's fine. Like, my deck was going to be non-interactive for the most part, right? I'm not going to have fun. I'm just going to be in the way for y'all to do what you're going to do. And I'm not mad about it. It's totally okay. Some people just enjoy different types of Magic. And I think we have to be okay with that. The other problem I have during what we'll call the pregame or Rule Zero conversation, and I saw it this weekend too, which is one of the reasons I was thinking about it and debating if I wanted to put this video up. I only saw it once, but I have seen it a couple times in my games, where each person kind of goes in and tells, like, this is what I'm looking for. And by the way, your Rule Zero conversation does not need to be a dissertation on everything your deck does and every card and every combo. Like, no, just honestly, I don't even want all that information because I don't want to know everything your deck does because now it kind of ruins the fun for me to play against. I want to be surprised by the cool things you're going to do. Just give me a rough synopsis that you can sum up in like 3 to 5 sentences and call it good. But one of the things I've seen, and it's come up a few times in the last couple of months, and this is something that has been weighing on me a little bit to talk about, is inevitably you'll get somebody who wants to overly justify their deck choice. And what I mean by that is, let's say in the first example, let's say I'm playing a deck and I want to go 8 to 10 plus turns and I want to cast big creatures, whatever, right? And there's somebody that wants to play at my table and they're saying, well, starting on turn 4, I want to start trying to put the game away. I'm tutoring for this, that, and the other. And I'm like, that's probably not going to be our thing. And then that person says, well, but yeah, I'm tutoring, but really I'm only casting this and this. And yeah, I don't really have a game-winning effect until like turn 7, so it's almost turn 8. And then ultimately what happens is you end up having a game where the person's deck does whatever thing is incompatible with the rest of the group, and now people aren't having a good time. And the whole goal of Commander is for everybody to have fun. It's a casual format. Yes, there's still going to be a winner, there's still going to be a loser. Sometimes people are still going to get mana screwed or whatever, and that's okay. That's allowed to happen. But if you're in a situation where you're having to justify your deck choice, it's probably not right for that group. Now, it's totally okay if y'all are kind of a little vague and you're trying, hey, just so you know, I don't really have any 2-card combos or anything, and mostly just have this one combo that's kind of big, and that's about it. But together it takes 2 turns and it costs like 14 mana. All right, cool. You can explain that, not a big deal. But I've literally said at tables, well, this type of deck, normally I know you've seen other people play it and it's aggressive, but like mine's not so bad and I can do this, this, and this. And then you're sitting there going like, no, it's fine. You don't have to overly justify. But I think overall, what we need to be doing with these conversations is try and find the middle ground for everybody to have fun. And if that means sometimes maybe you make adjustments to your list so you're not as overpowered or aggressive or whatever, so you're in line with some of the other decks. I think that's not a bad idea either. But I would use your Rule Zero and your pregame as time to level set, if anything else, and just get everybody on the same page and say, hey, this is the type of fun we like to have. And possibly if you're lucky and you can afford it, maybe you have 2 Commander decks with you, possibly 3. So you have something at different power levels or aggression levels or different play styles that you can fit to play with other people. So maybe in that first scenario, the person that has the overly aggressive deck or, hyper aggressive competitive deck says, okay, well, y'all are right. Y'all want to play something a little lighter. I have something that's, weird enchantment heavy or creature heavy and takes multiple turns. Okay, cool. Or in my case, I might say, well, I don't really play competitively, but I at least have a deck that can hang a little bit better than this one. So if there is no other game and I really want to play, I have another option. Now, obviously, that's not something that's going to work for everybody, but it's at least a solution. But again, don't try to overly justify. Just say, okay, I can either try to make my deck adjust or build it in a way or maybe take out a couple of problematic cards, or it's totally okay to just say, I'll watch y'all play and I'll set this one out. Because ultimately, I'd rather people have fun and me cheer them on from the sidelines and enjoy a good time other than end up with a bad taste in my mouth or in theirs from somebody not having a good time. Because in the future, one of us is probably not going to want to play with the other. And that's not great. That's not great. So anyway, yeah, let me know kind of what has your experience been with Rule Zero? What have your pregame conversations been like? I'm very interested to see how everybody's pregame has been going since these kind of Rule Zero conversations really kicked off pretty heavy. I feel like a year ago and people really started talking about it a lot more. But yeah, I'm truly curious. Like, how is it working for you? Have you run into similar situations? Have you had those conversations and the game's not gone well? Or have you come up with a solution to meet in the middle, if maybe you're not on the same page? I'm sure everybody has a different experience with this, and I'm actually very curious what it is. But again, I apologize for the audio, as this is kind of a late night, last second, as evidence from the hotel room I'm in. If you are looking for some fun, check us out today on the Hunter Burton Check us out today on the Hunter Burton Memorial Open website if you want to make a donation, or twitch.tv/Hunter Burton Memorial Open, so you can come by and watch us, and we have a bunch of fun stuff going on today. But again, I want to thank y'all for being patient. Thank you for watching all the videos I put up over the week. I loaded all those before I left to come to Texas for the weekend. And I'm super appreciative of all y'all really keeping up on stuff and commenting and sharing. Like, the activity has been great. I really appreciate it. And let me know what you think about while we're talking about it, the Commander content that we've been putting out, because it's a little bit different. I know it's not my main content, but I do want to dabble and sprinkle some of that in among the gameplay content every week going forward. So anyway, that's all I have for you for now. I'm going to go get some sleep so I can do some good commentary for everybody tomorrow, and we can raise some money. But I really appreciate y'all watching this long. I hope it was a good conversation, and we'll see you soon with some more gameplay. That's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.